Hello guys and gals, welcome to a new tutorial. In this video we're going to be covering physics constraints and how we can link together multiple objects and have them swing from one another as if they were attached in a physical manner. Yay! Yay, play with the balls. That's what she said. No, she didn't say that. Nobody said that. Right, so it's actually not too difficult to do. We can add a cable as well. These cables actually aren't part of the system. I've just added these because they look a little nice. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. The first thing we need a mesh for the initial anchor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cube. I'm going to lift this guy up a fair distance because we want some space for something to swing from. Now on the right hand side under transform, under location, I'm going to copy the location by right clicking and copying. I'm going to place a sphere in, and then I'm going to paste that there, and then just move this down. Now the reason I've copied and pasted that info is just so that I can make sure that the X and the Y are exactly the same without me having to manually place them, and then I can just change the Z because I obviously want this to swing down a little lower. Next thing we'll do is in classes we are going to search for physics constraint actor. We'll drag one of these into the world, and same thing, I'm going to paste the location of the cube and then move this down a little bit. Now the reason I want this to go down a little bit is because this is kind of going to be the central point for our swing. We want this to be pretty much centered where we want to have this, and you'll see why in a moment. In the right hand side here now, while we have the physics constraint actor selected, you can see we've got constraint actor 1 and constraint actor 2. So constraint actor 1 is going to be our anchor, so we're going to click the little eye drop and then click our cube, and you can see now we've got this red highlight and then this red line to our physics constraint actor. This means that those two things are now linked. The second thing we'll do is choose constraint actor 2, eyedropper, our sphere rather, and we'll press play, and then if we touch this, nothing happens, and then we'll get an error. The reason nothing happens is because this guy is not simulating physics. So if we tick this and then we press play, now we can walk into this and it will swing around. Now this is going to have physics enabled, the default physics settings, so even if you were to shoot this it would move. You can affect this with gravity, impulse and force. What we want to do next, just because we want to make it look a little sexy, is we're going to go to cable. We're going to get a cable actor. Boop. We're going to once again paste the location of our cube. We're going to bring it down a little bit because I don't want it to be actually inside the cube. There we are. And now what we will do is, with the cable selected, you can see we've got attach N2 on the right hand side, other actor, eyedrop, and the sphere. Now when we do this, you're going to notice that the cable isn't actually attached. The reason this isn't attached is because by default, when you bring in a cable, the end location has an X of 100. The reason this is because when you bring it in, you can see that it's got this nice little droopy thing. It's kind of just like showing you what this thing's capable of. It gives you like a default value so you can see that it's not just a stick. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just put that back to 0, and that'll be inside our sphere. If we press play, you can now see that the cable will act with the sphere. Yay! You can set multiple up and just have them all swinging around. There we are. Now, these things aren't limited to single use. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely get rid of this cable just to demonstrate this. I'm going to move this up a little bit, and then what I'll do is I will make another sphere and just copy that over. Then with that copied over, what we will do is we are going to change the anchor to the sphere and the linked point to the new sphere. Now you can see that these have dropped down pretty far. Why did these drop so far? That's why they've dropped so far. I didn't actually make a copy. So what we want to do is place that back where it's supposed to be. Make a copy. Give this the new anchor point and the new end point. There we are. And now if we were to push the bottom one, it would react with the top, which would then react with the cube. So we get this nice chain effect, as you can see there. And there you have it. Physics constraint actors. I love using this mannequin. Like, he's like, hey. I almost see him like an avatar. Like, it's just like, put him in every single thumbnail, almost every thumbnail. See if you can spot them all. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Anyway, hope some of you guys will find that useful. Hopefully that explains a few things and you can set these up really quickly. Obviously you don't have to use cubes and spheres. You can use your own meshes, so you can have a chain. You know, if you wanted the chain to react like a full chain, then you'd need each link to be physically constrained between each link. And that way you get a really nice chain effect. And obviously these aren't limited to just the meshes. Let's just show you this. And you don't have to have them begin in a specific place. So if we do that, oopsie daisy, give me this, I drop that guy. You see here we can start this at a funky angle. I'll just get rid of this. And for the most part it will work as intended. But there we go. Whee! It's going to hold that cone at the angle that it was originally. So you see here, because we've got this constraint actor at this angle, it's going to hold it at this angle. So when it swings down, it's going to be on its side. So you can almost assume that this blue line here is the exact link, and it's treating this as the top. And same here, it's treating this as the bottom. If we were to move things around a bit, we get some funky swinging. There you go. Boink, 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 boink. Anyway, hopefully some of you guys find that useful. I'll see you next time.